talk to us about growing your in-house management team. Maybe talk to us about your first hire.
Yeah. Well, the first hire was actually more of an acquisition. I had a live-in caretaker in the second building I acquired, who turned into my basically my leasing agent for the most part, and then also did other property management duties like site visits and helped route maintenance calls and things to me. So that was the first hire, so to speak. He was an older gentleman that had been in the building for, I think, 10 or 11 years. And so he was great. He was really in touch with the market. He knew the tenants, he knew the tenant base. And so when he was showing units, he was very relatable. And he was also just a great sales guy. And he was old enough, he had a ton of experience in sales. He could show a unit better than I could. And I think he just related to the tenant base better than I would. So he was fantastic. And then unfortunately, like I said, he was older. There were some health issues and he ended up passing. So after that, that's when I went to the market to try to actually hire someone after that. The first actual hire after that was not a good one. That one took about a month to realize that the first hire was a bad fit. And it basically just came down to poor communication. She wasn't communicating with the tenants properly. She wasn't communicating with me properly. Projects weren't getting done. So after about a month there, we realized that wasn't a good fit. Moved on. And then since then, we've gotten another manager on board who's also a realtor. So that has an additional value add there when we're looking at new deals to underwrite. He's going to be able to bring a lot of value to the table and help us assess neighborhoods and things like that. And then we also have a part-time property manager as well who has a full-time corporate job, but is really interested in investing in real estate and wants a little bit of extra income coming in, so he helps cover the nights and the weekends. So it's a good little team we got so far. So I think we can get up to about 100 units or so before we need to bring somebody else on board. So how I'm anticipating scaling it is about one manager for every 100 units. That seems to be, based on people I've talked to, that seems to be a good mix.
Yep, that sounds about right. What was your experience with, or sounds like it was a positive one, but talk to me just about the idea of having a tenant be kind of employed versus an outside person. Is there any dynamics there to be considered?
Yeah, I mean, it is nice to have somebody on site, especially at these buildings that don't have the scale to support an on-site manager officially. If you're looking at deals that are 100, 200, 300 units, you're going to have dedicated staff on site with an office there, and you've got boots on the ground, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. However, if you don't have that kind of scale, I think there still is a lot of value in having at least a caretaker, even if they're not really a manager, just to kind of keep an eye on upkeep of the common areas. They can help out with throwing salt down when there's snow, and you have your dedicated snow removal guys and lawn care guys, but they can help with those little things in the interim, as well as just be your eyes and ears for anything that's going on the property. Because that's valuable. Even if you have a property manager who's making site visits every week, the stuff that happens at 3 a.m, they're not going to see. But a live-in caretaker who might get a little discount on rent or something is going to be able to pick up the phone and say, okay, unit number 7 is having a few parties. So it gives us an extra level of insight into how the property's actually running.
Yep. That little detail about putting out salt is really important because oftentimes whatever snow removal company you might use, they go out after a 1 inch or 2 inches, depending on your contract.
Yeah.
But that 1 inch needs to be cleared still, and ice builds up, and so.
Yeah, that little stuff is valuable. So that's really where you either need someone who's, who you employ that's up at 4 a.m. to start doing that, or the best thing in my opinion is just to have someone on site. And they get a little discount to run out there in the morning, shovel the walkway, maybe just a couple feet, throw some salt down, and that makes a big difference for the residents.
Want to hear more on this topic? Click the link below for the full episode of Maximizing Your Property Value.